said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
I like your style.
I've got a day off, so let's just call it that.
We could do right, mate.
I've got a day off for once.
Well, listen, I'm on the calms, Dan's on the beers. Now we've got a podcast, you know what I mean?
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. You know, what's going to happen after 11:30? God knows, you know. Skyscanner flights, Ibiza, here we go.
Yeah, DMT.
Yeah,
let's
do it. But no, I'm an addict, is what it is. And anything I try, I get addicted to it.
You do it in excess.
Yeah, and it gets more and more and more and more and more.
Understood.
Anything. Shit, I could be addicted to it. Literally anything. I don't think there's anything that I haven't been addicted to that is part of my life. You know, some of it's good. You know what, right? An addict, if it's the right type of addict, I guess, it can be a superpower as well, right? Because if, let's say, you're addicted to work, that can be beneficial.
Absolutely.
To your life. If you're addicted to health and wellness, that can be beneficial to your life.
It can, yeah.
You know, if you're addicted, I mean, I guess I don't think I've ever heard of this before, but I guess if you're addicted to doing good things, you know, I just get a kick out of doing good things for people.
Yeah,
That's
I get
the best type of addiction.
I get that, yeah, because you get a real boost from that, you know what I mean? You feel something. But then I think everything's got to be in balance anyway. It's got to be like the way of the Tao, hasn't it? You know, you can't do too good for doing shit. You got to kind of find some balance in your life.
Yeah, I get that. And then you get into the whole world, is there anything as an unselfish act and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's it.
We can go down that path, can't we? But no, would you consider yourself a space cadet then?
Not really. I like to dabble in all sorts of things. I'm interested in people, and I'm interested in what people do, and like the world in general. And I think like if you are willing not to go to extremes as such, but if you're willing to dabble and find things out, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. With learning and knowing about people and you don't really know anything until like you see the depths of somebody else. To see like how deep you're willing to go or what your limit is, and be like, oh, okay, I'm down with that, but that's fucking crazy, you know.
What's like, and this is a question to you and Salpo, what's your views, and would you do the whole go to Peru, see the shaman, take the ayahuasca, and do the whole adventure?
Yeah. I mean, I've dabbled with DMT before. DMT is amazing. You
really?
Feel, yeah. I didn't do the full trip. I didn't like go off for 15 minutes and go and talk to God or whatever. But I smoked it with a friend of mine, and I just saw loads of like really trippy shit, like crazy colours, and you feel familiar. You feel like you've been there before. It's so strange. It's like people talk about the universal oneness that like was it Terence McKenna and scholars like that. All these Aldous Huxley, they thought that like, by doing it, you could like open the doors of reality. You know what I mean? There's a whole thing about your pineal gland in your brain being calcified, and it opens your pineal gland. Your third eye is what they call it. And I've always listened to a band called Tool that talk about opening your third eye and transcending reality, and you know. And as an artist, that's like super interesting to me. But I wouldn't.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I didn't do the full trip, like, but I did a little bit, and it just felt incredible. But then I suppose heroin's probably the same.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And then years later, it's a whole train spotting situation. So once again, everything in moderation. You know what I mean? Don't.
Dan's laid on a council flag getting sucked into the carpet.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like seeing dead babies on the ceiling, and like, no, thank you. That's fucked. You know?
Yeah. No. So literally, like, you would do. Like, I mean, look. I mean, no one's listening. And like, you know, we're not on a podcast, but like, where'd you get DMT?
I don't know. Probably the dark web.
Is it?
Honestly, I mean, I like I said, I don't do the full thing. I don't know anything about it. I can't go down that hole and be like, oh, you know what? I'll get some DMT this weekend because I'll be doing it all the time. Like I said, if like addiction,
yeah.
If you know where to get it from, then you get into something. Oh, sweet, I'll just do that. You know,
yeah,
I've got mates who buy bags of coke or whatever, and by like, you know, after the weekend, it's completely gone. Like, oh, I was going to sell that. I'm like, well. You know, well done, Hoover. You know what I
mean? Would you ever do the ayahuasca, Dan?
So same. I'm very intrigued. Would be the word. I'm very curious. Like everybody, we all have our mind, and we've all got probably a lot of questions, and we're all looking for a lot of answers. And something. And again, I've never heard of this until like recent years where it's become popular. But like, same, hearing people's experiences and stuff. And I don't know, like this thing just like tells me that like maybe there'll be some answers there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And like, but obviously, like, I am vain. In case you can't tell, I'm sure you're all surprised at that I'm vain. But I don't want to piss and shit myself in front of people. I'm a wuss, and I don't like being sick.
Yeah, no one likes being sick.
So like all of that whole thing, that's the bit that puts me off. And obviously, there is the thing that like, what if it goes fucking wrong and you don't come back? You know what I mean? You just end up in a loony bin. After that, that's the thing. So I'm scared. But right, what it is because I'm scared, I don't think I would push myself all the way. But if you dropped me in it now, if us three were there now, and like I like you two, or other people I like, and they, and people said, right, we're doing it. Are you coming with us? I would do it. Yeah, I'd do it, but I'd be shitting myself. But I don't know whether that's a bad way to go in.
With ayahuasca, I've heard a YouTuber I watch called Joel Weller has literally went to do it this week.
Right.
And for the last month, he's been preparing to do ayahuasca. Now, I didn't know there was this much involved in it, but you need to spend a month before you take it completely on natural foods. You need to slow down your heart rate to like a normal beat. You don't want to be doing any crazy workouts that are going to get your heart rate beating too high.
Really?
Yeah. So there's all these different things that you have to do to try and get your body to the most level it possibly can be. No alcohol, no drugs, no extreme adrenaline rushes throughout your month. And then he's been saying that with ayahuasca, what you have to do is you have to fully surrender your body to it. If there's an ounce of you that is trying to hold away from it, and this is what would scare me, because I don't really like not being in control. So if I had to fully surrender myself to ayahuasca, I mean, I don't know whether I could do that. That's what I'm worried about.
But you know what, right? I don't do them anymore, but, a lot of drugs get a bad... And I've done a few. I've done cocaine, and it's bad all the way through. It is bad.
Yeah.
It makes you think bad, it makes you act bad, and everything in between.
And cocaine people suck as well.
They
They never
suck.
shut up. It's like, oh, dude.
It turns you into the worst version of yourself, basically.
Yeah.
However, there is a drug called ecstasy. And I will honestly say, I know it's illegal, and I know a lot of people will say, oh, you shouldn't do that. Can I tell you, I had the most amazing experiences on that substance. I mean, just... beautiful. It turns you into the nicest version of yourself. You might look like a bit of a knob, and I'm sure the person next to you didn't think you were the best version of yourself, but you just felt happy.
Yeah.
You felt happy, and you had a lot of love for everything, and it's just a lovely experience.
Did you feel a universal oneness?
I felt something like. I felt something. I think that's... I'm not exactly a scholar on drugs and stuff, but whatever's going on with that chemical carry on, it was certainly a lovely experience. But yeah, the whole ayahuasca DMT thing, I'm very curious, very, very curious. And I'm speaking to somebody that's dabbled. Shall we say.
I'm not like a lunatic. I'm not like an insane.
You give it a go.
Addict. I gave it a go. Yeah, and it was
a positive experience.
It was positive. It was. Yeah. I mean, I was going in thinking it'd be a bad trip or whatever, and that's why I didn't do the whole thing. I like to see what would have happened.
Just dip your toe in.
Just dip your little toe. Just to see what happens.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could smoke it. I didn't know that was a thing.
No, you can do. You can mix it with hash and smoke it. Yeah.
Imagine. It's a bit of you that in itself, Paul.
I don't know. Again, surrendering myself. I don't know.
No, I had a mate who was like really into it, and he's like, "Oh, I want you to do it with me because it's amazing." And I was like, "Well, I trust you, so let's go." And you know what, it worked, and it was
I think with a lot of these things, you got to be with people you trust. You got to be in a safe environment. But you never know.
You never know. So are we rolling, Southpaw?
We are rolling, sir.
We are rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to People Like Us. Thank you, everybody, for watching again. We do appreciate it, don't we, Southpaw?
Very much so, yeah. It means a lot.
It does. Keep doing that. Today's guest is, I don't know if you've heard this before, I've coined him as the Northern Banksy. Artist, graffiti artist. He's probably going to tell us what the correct pronunciation, or correct word is. We are joined by the very interesting, none other, Mr. Dan Walls, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo.
Hello, everybody. How's it
Welcome.
going?
So, Dan, first things first, mate, you've got a really interesting job.
I do, yeah. Thank you for the praise. I'm not the Northeast Banksy. There's a guy called Carl Stryker who pretty much wanted to be the Northeast Banksy. I've never met him. You might have seen some of his stuff. It's like stencils kind of all over the place in Middlesbrough and like Teesside. He did a lot of that.
Right.
I paint murals for a living, like large scale murals. Started off doing kids' rooms, and now, like 12 years later, I'm doing football stadiums and hosting events and all sorts. It's really good fun.
So, like, if somebody said to you, like, what's your job? What would you say?
Well,
what's your occupation?
I'm a mixed media mural artist, if that makes sense. But because I use a lot of like aerosol, people think, oh, he's a graffiti artist, and I don't mind people thinking that. But actual graffiti artist vandals will probably just think I'm a scumbag, like I'm some grifter. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do some street art as well. You know what I mean? I run a legal graffiti wall, like a legal street art scheme in Bishop Auckland.
Right.
And that's spilled over to some projects in Middlesbrough, and we do all sorts of clean up alleyways, and we just like teach kids and generally have a good time.
Right. Well, we'll touch on it because we do, on people like us, we've got a bit of a theme, and we do like to do the story a little bit because, you know, sort of how we figured this whole podcast out is you don't need famous people to find interesting people.
That's true.
And cue Mr. Dan Walls. Dan, when I imagine you're a pretty normal Northeast lad, right? The whole school thing and the rest of it.
I'd say so, yeah.
So, tell us the story. What led into this? Were you good at drawing as a kid?
Yeah, I was statemented as dyslexic from being about maybe 6.
Right.
And like academically, I wasn't brilliant. Like the more academic subjects, like English, your maths, foreign languages, just completely terrible at, you know. But I learned to draw. I really like drawing and I like painting, and because I was so enthusiastic about it, people could see my improvement and thought, oh, this guy's really good. And it got to a stage where I couldn't be corrected. They were like, oh, he's really, really good. And I got to a point thinking around GCSE time, what's the point of doing everything that I'm terrible at? Why have I got to take all these GCSEs when I just want to focus on painting? And then I left school with really crap GCSEs other than art and maybe PE. You know? That was what it was, because I learned differently. I've got a different way of thinking to everybody, but then so do loads of other people. Yeah. Maybe I've got ADHD, maybe I'm a little bit autistic, I don't know. But from that, I went to college and loved college, kind of redetermined who I was as a person, kind of modelled myself. And
identified yourself.
Yeah, I was a teenager and I kind of got like to figured out who I was, got into punk rock and
tattoos. And
that's exactly it. Left college, went to uni because I got enough like decent points.
What did you study?
I studied fine art.
Fine art in both?
Yeah, I just kept it vague because I liked all sorts of stuff to do with that. I didn't want to go down the graphic design route because that would have me tied to a computer for the rest of my life, and you know. Just thought, keep it vague. I want to learn to paint. I want to express myself. I want to work big. Started drawing really big pictures and getting in with chalk, charcoal, using rollers, all sorts of things. Then I went to uni, loved that, experimented with sculpture. I did a whole thing with circuit bending. Have you heard of circuit bending before?
No, tell us what it is.
You get like things like kids' toys, old pianos, old keyboards, and you mess with the electronics to make them make weird sounds.
Right.
So then animals stuffed animals that move or kids' toys that move and yip and backflip, I used to like mess with them, kind of like Sid from Toy Story.
I was going to say, it sounds like a scene from Toy Story.
It was a lot like that, real kind of weird horror sort of stuff I was getting into. So I did that. I got into taxidermy as well.
No fucking way.
I went to Cornwall and learned taxidermy from my mate Fred, who was brilliant, and his friend Clive. We used to...
Right.
It was when I left uni... and I didn't have a job, so I left Leeds and went to go and clean toilets in Cornwall. Crashed on my mate's couch, and we went around Cornwall cleaning all the public bogs, and we used to pick up roadkill, take it back to Clive's, chop it up, and make things out of it.
Right.
Honestly, living in Newquay is one of the most amazing places. It's beautiful. It's like being in a different country. It's like England's Mexico. It's so good. And then, yeah, that was my nights, just making squirrel pencil cases and all sorts of really weird stuff.
No way.
Yeah, like learning how to clean badgers, dead badgers, like cleaning the bones of them, learning how to skin them, salt the skins, hang them out to dry. Honest, crazy.
Just average 18-year-old stuff.
Oh,
yeah?
crazy,
just
crazy.
normal stuff. Yeah.
Fun fact. a badger has a bone in its penis, right? A bone in its actual cock, and you can use it as a tie slide. People use them on tie grips. And that's what they I swear.
Right, just for a young'un like myself, who taxidermy is
the cleaning and stuffing and like repurposing of dead animals to make them look more lifelike. So like in museums and stuff like that.
Yeah. So basically, you dig Max up, right?
Mate, Maximilianos Morales. Don't be, just be careful.
Southpaw's recently lost his dog. We miss Max.
We're not going to stuff his dog.
But I'm saying you could, and you could see it every day.
Wow.
Some people do that.
What was your speciality if you had one?
I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to keep it varied. Fine art, keep it vague. You know
what I mean in the taxidermy world.
Oh, no. Well, I made a squirrel pencil case and I dressed it up like Action Man. If you look on crap taxidermy, you'll be able to find it.
Right.
Made little eyes for it and gave it little Action Man boots and a little hat and had a zip on its stomach and I put my pencils in it. And
wow.
Oh, yeah, it's just crazy. My mates just got me into doing loads of weird stuff. I was like, yeah, why not?
You mean some interesting people, Dan?
Oh, yeah. Fred Thomas down in Cornwall is the most crackers bloke you'll ever meet. He's brilliant.
Right.
And Clive Badger Finnegas is just crackers too. But
Clive Badger Finnegas?
Yeah, just mates of mine from years ago.
Dare I ask why they call him Badger?
Because he stuffs badgers.
Because he stuffs badgers.
Yeah, I met them on DeviantArt, a site called DeviantArt years ago, and obviously the name speaks for itself. You know, it's full of crackpots.
Yeah,
really good fun.
But they're the most interesting people.
Oh, absolutely, they are so much fun. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So off he's popped. He's down Cornwall. He's practicing taxidermy.
Yeah. So then I had to go back home and get a real job. Hated that, so I was washing pots. I was working on building sites, just doing what I could do to make a bit of money, working for agencies. I was a chef for a while. And then I went to do teacher training because my mum is a teacher, or was a teacher. She's retired now. I thought, why not? It's me kind of dabbling in my passions and passing it on to kids and learning to teach. So I thought I did that for a couple of years.
Thinking like the art teacher route, maybe.
Yeah, going down that sort of thing. Loved it. I was at Bishop College for a long time, and I did maybe 3 years, and that was really good fun. Did my placement there. On the side of that, one of the A-level students had a tattoo studio, wanted to expand his horizons and, go down the art and design route. So then I started tattooing, hanging out with him, became an apprentice and started doing that at different studios. Loved the discipline of tattooing. Really good fun. I wasn't a great tattooist, to be fair, but like the side of it about the cleanliness and learning how to tattoo and customer service was a huge thing with that. Because as an apprentice, you're pretty much like a dog's body. Yeah. You draw all the designs and you learn how to go down that route, but then you also talk to the customers quite a lot, talk about designs, and that to me started to like twig in my brain that I was learning a different kind of skill, like an interchangeable skill with my fine art and tattooing. And then on the side of that, one of the customers asked me, can you paint kids' rooms?
Right, okay.
And this is what started Illumination Wall Art and started the whole working graffiti, spray painting, street art side of it that I've been doing for 12 years now.
Yeah. Because I just listening to, it seems up until that point, when you, I'm surprised that tattooing didn't end up being the thing. Because everything, even something like you say, a stencil is a big part of what you do.
That's it.
Obviously you were a drawer by just nature. You were just, like a literal natural born artist. And just the way, obviously, getting into the punk and the tattooing and the sort of the path, all arrows were pointing to tattoo artists.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And I'm surprised that didn't take.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find a good teacher for tattooing. The structure of it, because obviously I came from a teaching background. Yeah. So the structure of tattooing and the structure of how you learn it is so very, very different to how you'd think, and it varies from person to person. I think tattoo apprentice is just like a generalised term. So you could just rock up to a shop and here's your machines, crack on, and you'll just butcher someone and completely fuck them up. It's like, right, hang on, come here. But I thought it would have been more like that, like you will learn from your mistakes, because that's what I constantly make mistakes. I've had to make really big allowances for making mistakes with being dyslexic, but with art and painting, it's no problem at all. You just cross it out, you go over it, you spray over it. Can't do it with tattooing.
No, you can't. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to get it right first time.
That's exactly it. And the pressure, it's an enormous amount of pressure. That's why there's some really good tattooists who are top tier who are amazing, and there's scratches in their mum's kitchen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people, if you've got the money, you'll go to a really good person. If you want to just go and get tattooed in the kitchen and get a staph infection, go ahead. But there's allowances for that.
Yeah.
But I the pressure was really a lot on me, and I didn't really like it. And it's very restrictive as an artist as well when you're only working in one kind of media, I think.
Yeah,
You know?
I get that. I've never really thought of that before. Yeah, of course, you think the pressure. Okay, you might be good at drawing, but like, yeah, when you're spray painting, you're left to your own accord for the most part.
That's it.
You're set on a project and you're away with your mind and your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're doing a tattoo, you're literally sat. That person, for the most part, is looking at what you're doing.
That's it.
And it's very intense.
That's it.
And yeah, you can imagine how, and at the same time, like you say, customer service, you're expected to, I imagine you're not allowed to, well, it's probably best if you're not just completely silent all the time.
Oh, it's great. I mean, if I was tattooing you now, if I was just tattooing like your leg or whatever, I'd be having a bit of banter with you, cracking on, talking like this, and it would make my experience and yours so much easier. It would be so much fun. But if it's someone you don't know, and it's a very complicated piece, and they're very picky and pedantic about like how the design has to go, it has to be exactly like this, because they'll pull something off Pinterest, which is like way above your skill level.
Yeah.
But they'll want it for half the price, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll want it to be exactly the same, and I'm like, dude, like,
Yeah.
I'll come here, paid a deposit, and I'm like, you've given us 60 quid, not 500 quid. It's
Yeah. I think, for a lot of the, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the most part, a lot of what you do, there is a lot of your creativity in it as well. You're sort of, I won't say left to your own accord as such, but it is, for the vast majority, your creation.
That's it.
But whereas a tattoo, it's never. I mean, I don't imagine anybody turns up and says, "Oh, just do what you think."
Well, there are some guys that do that, but they're like top tier. They're like amazing, and you go in, you trust them because they've got this huge, amazing reputation about them.
Right. So you'll meet a tattoo artist that is literally the Cristiano Ronaldo of tattoo artists.
That's it. Yeah,
and it's like whatever you think.
They won't use a stencil. They'll just go straight with the machines and do a really cool like a neo-traditional boat or something, and it'll look class, like a pirate ship on someone's back, and it'll just beast it. Yeah. And it's complete trust, and like, to be at that level is amazing. You know what I mean? Like more power to the guys who can do that.
Right.
But to me, it was like,
So so there was, right. So this sort of journey, you were in this. You said you met this bedroom job, let's call it.
Yeah.
It came from a person in the tattoo shop, a customer.
I did, yeah.
So at this point, this person's asked you, "Will you paint this kid's room?"
Yeah.
You never done this before.
I'd dabbled a little bit. I had some interactions with like spray painting and like working on my own wall as a kid and drawing big.
Right.
And I thought, well, it can't be that difficult.
Right.
My dad actually, years before, said this to me. He goes, "You know what I would have done if I could go back?" I says, because my dad draws as well. My dad's not a bad artist.
Right.
Just obviously he went down a different path to me. He says, "I would have bought one of those overhead projectors and I would have like drawn like Bruce Lee on kids' walls or something. I would have started a business doing that." And I think he told me this when I was about maybe 15. I thought, that's not a bad idea. Why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
And then he asks me, this guy asks me, "Can you paint kids' rooms?" And I'm thinking, I'm gonna have a go at my dad. Well, what my dad says, "Yeah, I'll have a go, mate. I'll have a go." I bought a projector and thought, I may as well give it a go. And I did Ben 10 on one wall for one kid and Eddie from Iron Maiden on the other.
Right.
So I got the Ben 10 one rattled quick and I was like, right, Eddie, let's go, because I love Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. I did Eddie bursting out of a grave with the lightning hitting him, and it was just class.
So, like, I obviously I don't see all of your artwork, but what I've seen you do here recently, you were using the projector thing. Do you always use the projector?
No, not all the time. If I'm doing someone else's design, like Iron Maiden, Derek Riggs or whatever, it has to look exactly like it is, or really intricate writing or something. I generally used it because I didn't want customers to just think, "Who's this nutcase coming in off the streets and like going in my band's room?" Sorry. So I thought, if I can project it on the wall first, they can see it before any paint hits it. I can adapt the design, I can make it bigger, smaller, I can flip it upside down, I can go on my laptop and put different wording in or change the colours. So they're 100% happy before I go cracking out spray paint and making a mess.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get that. Now that makes sense. If you've said, "Oh, draw Ben 10 on the wall," and you've drawn a Ben 10 that's 6 inches high, they said no. And so with the projector, you can obviously say, right, is that right? Yeah.
And I used to go in with like pencils and pencil it all in first, and then I used to paint it, then go in with markers, and it was just a very long process. And I'm thinking, well, if I can streamline this, if I can like get it up on the wall and use spray paint, which dries in seconds, and then just go around later and put a thick line around it all and have it done, relatively quick, then what's the harm?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So isn't it weird how that I never knew that bit of the story that had actually come kind of from your dad?
Yeah, my old man. He doesn't even remember. Doesn't even remember telling me that.
Right.
And maybe I dreamt it, I don't know, but he honestly does not remember. And I'm like, all right, then, Dad, just...
Huh.
I just nicked your idea, but okay.
And that turned into
A career, yeah.
a career.
Yeah, business.
Huh. So what happened after that? So you did this, I imagine, I mean, you tell me, you've done this kids' room. It's obviously gone well.
Yeah.
What was the next steps in this? How did it get bigger?
So from that, I started doing other kids' rooms. Like I went to like craft fairs and I did like bits there. Like I got to a Christmas craft fair with a big wooden board and painted the Grinch and that kind of thing. And nothing really came of that. It was more on a small scale, handing out leaflets. Nothing. Leaflet dropping. Print is just ridiculous. Nobody wants leaflets through the door. They just put it in the bin. I then went around Darlington, up and down North Road, handing out flyers. And I got right into the town centre. And I went into... Was it Millet or something, the camping place? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Went into there and asked, I know it's not really your thing, guys, but do you ever think you'd have a mural painted of a forest or something you can put your tents in front of? You know, me trying to be like the cool marketing branding guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, not really, mate. There's an Italian over the road, Stefano wants something doing. And this was Fafano's in Darlington when that was on the corner.
Yeah.
And I went in and I said, here, I'm a mural painter. Here, you might want a mural. And his face lit up. He took me down into the basement and he's got these 3 kind of alcoves. With pillars in the middle, and he goes, I want a scene of Venice doing in here.
Wow.
And I was like, mate, yes, I am absolutely game for that. Like,
Right.
And I think I charged him something like 250 quid just so I could have an actual business premises with a mural.
Yeah.
And he said, crack on then, mate, no bother. Could you have it done over the week? Over the week, because we need to open at the weekend. So he gave me 4 days. Give me the deposit and pretty much locked me in. He says, help yourself to the bar. And I was
No
like,
way.
spot on. So I just locked myself in and got hammered and painted and, did a Venice mural for him.
And that was Stefano's?
That was Stefano's, yeah. Well, it was Fafano's and he's Stefano Fafano.
Right, Stefano Fafano's.
Yeah.
Right. And that was the official first proper job, I
That's
guess.
when it happened. Yeah, that's when things happened for me. And I started to like think I can do business premises now in kids' rooms and just... I can try pubs, I can try this and try hotels and
Where is Fafano's again?
it's changed now. It's right on the corner. So you got Darlington, the indoor market, and there's a taxi rank directly over the road from there on the corner. I think it's a cafe now.
Got ya,
Like
yeah.
a light. I think it's light blue kind of colour near the Pennyweight, right on that corner.
I know what you mean. Right,
Yeah.
okay, so it was there. Wow. Does that mural still stand?
I'm not sure. They might have painted over it now because it's changed hands that many times. I mean,
I hope
we're
they haven't.
going back like 10 years ago, you know. So
Right, so I mean, imagine, so at this point, was Illumination Wall Art a business then?
yeah, I went to the Prince's Trust, the King's Trust now, should I say?
Yeah.
I became like a young ambassador for them, although I was 30, so I was on the cusp of like, you know. So I go around and I'd like, you know, spread the good word of like what they do for businesses. Joined the enterprise program through the job centre, and the enterprise program pretty much like gave me a business mentor, gave me a loan, and gave me a grant, and just told me to buy in all the gear that I needed and help write my business plan. And I'd already done that anyway. I'd already had a friend help out with the business plan. I'd already bought my small like piddly gear when I was using acrylics and stuff and brushes. But then from that, they gave me the money to expand. And I expanded from that and then paid it all back. And by that time, I was kind of painting a mural a week by then.
Really?
And it just started to like snowball from there.
So was it a case, once you did the mural of Venice in Fafano's, you posted it to your socials?
That's what happened, yeah.
And then what was the response like?
Well, I built a portfolio. I had like, it was back in the days when Facebook, where you could use tagvertising. Do you remember that was a thing where you put it on Facebook and then tag loads of businesses and loads of people?
Yeah.
There's the crackdown on that then. But from doing that, the local buy and sell groups got involved. So Aycliffe Buy and Sell, Darlow Buy and Sell, that kind of thing.
Right.
Shildon, what's happening, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tag it in that to hit the local people, like local SEO sort of stuff.
Right.
And then a lot of people, like mums or whatever, wanting the bands rooms doing, would get in touch.
Right, okay. So then it all just started to fly.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow build. And then from then, more and more people got involved. And I started hitting bigger places. I did the Bose Museum.
Wow.
So the Bose Museum was great because I did a Lego exhibition for them.
Right.
And in the next room to that was like all the great masters. So Turner was there and Goya. Like, you've heard of Goya before?
These are artists, right?
I wrote my dissertation on Goya.
Right.
He did the black paintings. I don't know whether you've seen it. It's Saturn eating his son or Jupiter eating his son. It's a great big hunched man eating a child. It's really horrifying, like really scary. But that started out as a mural. He did these murals called the black paintings, and no one was ever intended to see them. And he got tinnitus, so he lost his hearing, and he sat in his house, losing his mind, and painted these murals. And eventually they opened up this house. It was like a tomb, and all these enormous, terrifying, beautiful murals were there.
So there was literally this Goya guy, like you say, he got that disease, lost his hearing.
Yeah, went mental.
And he's literally demented in his own house, going insane, just painting these horrendous things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Art history, honestly, art history is incredible if you ever get into art history.
Yeah, I mean, I know no more than the name Goya. That's as far as it goes for me.
Yeah.
You know, if you could say Da Vinci, I couldn't tell you what they painted.
Yeah.
I've just heard the names, you know. I only recently found out that Beethoven wasn't an artist and he's a musician. I thought he painted.
I thought he was a dog.
Yeah, he was, yeah. Yeah, great film. Right, so where were we? Oh, yeah, the Boers. So, yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
you got the Boers Museums, yeah.
Boers Museum painting this big Lego exhibition for the kids on this wall. In the next room is Goya, and I wrote my dissertation on Goya and the Chapman brothers. There's like these, like they were, still are. They won the Turner Prize, these guys, for this depiction of hell, which was made out of miniatures, like Warhammer miniatures. And it's all Ronald McDonald and Nazis, and it's enormous. It fills this room 2 times over, and everything's like individually hand painted. But Goya had this this series of prints from the Peninsular War called the Disasters of War, and they bought all of his prints and they went over it and drew over them and kind of defaced them.
Well, hang on, they bought Goya's work,
Original prints,
the original stuff,
original prints, yeah, and drew over them, and drew like melting clowns and Nazis and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Why?
Because
it was sick.
yeah, well, it was sick and depraved, and like they kind of did this whole thing where like they wanted to prove a point. Like if you take someone's art and then you add to it, if you vandalize it as such, is it better or worse? And it got into this whole thing, and I wrote my whole dissertation on it because it was a really interesting thing to like think about, like taking somebody else's art and then if you twist it and turn it, and if you've bought it off them, is that yours? Can you then do what you want? You know?
What was your opinion? Is it better?
No, not really. I think they were trying to be edgy with it, but they did raise a really good point about like it's like music and covers. You know what I mean? Doing a cover of Ozzy Osbourne, let's say, you know, is that better or worse than what it is? But it's all down to personal taste. It's subjective, like as is art. You know?
Well, yeah. I don't know. I think you get Paolo Nutini and get him to sing anyone's songs, and it'll be better. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love Wonderwall as much as the next man, but you get Paolo to sing it, he's going to blow Liam out the water. I'm just saying.
That's exactly
you know?
it. Yeah.
But yeah, interesting though, because I suppose it's subjective as well.
That's
I guess it depends who's. You might say, I hate Paolo.
Yeah,
you know, I hate his voice. Sounds horrible.
No, he's got a great voice.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. But I'm saying, yeah, it's all subjective, and so is art, right?
Yeah, of course.
Art is subjective.
Absolutely.
So you might think that painting is so much better now. They draw the clown on it.
That's
and
it.
I might be horrified thinking, what have you done to this work of art?
Yeah, the castrated man hanging from a tree just needs a Ronald McDonald mask on. I mean, you know, what was Goya thinking not doing that years ago? You know?
You know, from somebody who's obviously, I wouldn't say I don't appreciate art. Like, yeah, I get it. I'm definitely not an art fan. I've been to a gallery or two before, and I've seen some paintings that are supposed to be like, and yeah, I couldn't paint it. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't paint it. But like, you get some like, let's just say the one that everybody knows, like the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Everybody's aware of what the Mona Lisa is. Like, as somebody who understands art, like, why is that so good? Because, like, I think people could draw it better than that. So why is it so good?
Honestly, it's hype, I think.
Is it?
Because it's not his best work. Da Vinci had like incredible artwork. It's small as well. It's not even a massive piece.
Apparently so.
Yeah, it's only about A3 kind of size. You know what I mean? But I think it became such a huge thing that everyone wants to see it. So they go. I think there was a study done, and I think they maybe spend 2 minutes at a time looking at it. They go into the Arc de Triomphe, where it is. They go into there, they look at the Mona Lisa, they do the selfies, take a photo, and off they go. They don't even bother going around and seeing all the other beautiful art in the place.
It's just for that.
Just for that. And there's crowds and crowds of people, and the crowds put people off, I suppose. It would put me off.
Yeah,
you know?
I went, it's the Louvre, actually.
The
Louvre where it is. And I went in, and you could barely even see the Mona Lisa, the amount of people that were in front of it.
Yeah, that's it.
It was absolutely rammed. And we had a little walk around. It was nice, and it's a beautiful place, the Louvre. It really is. But I buy into that. I do think it's definitely the hype. But is there one particular artist for you subjectively that you absolutely love or have embodied your work from?
No, not particularly. I mean, the expressionist thing came from Francis Bacon. I mean, the work I do for like kids' rooms and like the street art or whatever is very different to what I actually want to do as an artist.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How so?
What I like is very, very dark and very expressive. I mean, the whole punk rock heavy metal side of it would probably come out with that.
Yeah.
I think it comes from a lot of angst. Is like the whole teen angst thing. You know what I mean? Where you want to be edgy and a bit kind of crazy. But the taxidermy thing, like working with chopping up animals and doing that kind of fed into it a little bit.
Because that would be considered like the punk rock, the heavy metal, the taxidermy. They would be considered quite dark things, I guess.
That's it.
And yeah, I mean, I would be guessing here, but you could probably correct me. If you were literally let loose and you literally, someone said, no, Dan, I want this to be from the depths of your mind here, what could somebody expect to see?
I'm not sure. This is the thing. I always kind of go in now with commissions. I want to know what people want. And it would probably be like more down the Francis Bacon kind of route. I'd work big and I'd probably work with chalk and charcoal because I never get to do that. It's mainly like me rediscovering things that I haven't touched in a long time. I recently did a piece for the National Trust based on adders because adders are endangered and I pretty much put in for it and I got it. So
like the snake?
Yeah, the snake. Yeah, the point that England's only venomous snake is now endangered.
What do you mean venomous? It's venomous?
It's venomous, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
We've got venomous snakes.
Yeah, we've got a venomous snake in this country.
They're very rare. They're very, very rare.
You don't really see them. Yeah.
We don't have them up here though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Weirddale's covered in them. North Pennines is covered in adders. Yeah.
Yeah, the
In certain
moors.
spots.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever seen one?
No, I've never seen one. They wanted me to go out on an adder hunt, but this is the same time as the Ben was born, so I was really busy. So I managed to get the painting done for them. But I went back into mixed media and I was using spray paint with it and I was kind of like using stencils and all sorts to get the scales on the adders, and I did a lot of research into adders and the folklore behind them because I wanted it to be this whole thing about like a mythical creature that I'd never seen before. And it became like more about folklore and dragons and like what the adder represents to the druids and that kind of thing. And from that I was able to use my sort of experience or lack of experience in adders to create something.
Right.
So maybe I need that spark from somebody to say, oh well, I want this here, I want this and this added to it, but I want it in your style. I want you to kind of do what you want.
I'd be really interested. Now you said that, Dan. Like obviously, over the years I've known you, I've been grateful to have two bits of your work. You did a company I worked at a long time ago, and you've been in here as well. I'm so intrigued to know what is in really, really inside that you would come up with. Like that is like, I've put a pin in my brain now. At some point or another, we must get Dan to just paint what he really wants to paint.
That's the thing, because I've started the legal graffiti walls to be able to do that a little bit, but also my name's attached to it. I don't go by a different name or a tag name or whatever when I'm on the legal wall. I'm just Dan Walls because I don't, that's what I am.
It's great that your second name's Walls as well. Like, it's
that
happy accident.
I did not change that for the people who think that I'm some kind of idiot that changed his name for that. I didn't. I'm actually born Dan Walls.
That's
Christian Dan
brilliant.
Walls.
And literally paints walls.
Yeah,
that's fucking brilliant.
but I don't know. I don't know what I'd do, to be honest with you. Like, I think I haven't done my own sort of stuff in years and years and years. Like, maybe I've changed now. Maybe because I've grown up a little bit. Maybe I wouldn't go down that route.
Question: have you done any work in your own house?
Yeah.
What's that?
I did a massive Hulk face.
Right.
So that was over lockdown. When lockdown hit, I was like, well, I can't paint, I can't go out and do anything, or what I thought I couldn't do. So I cracked that in my house and put it out there. Anyone want a mural? And then all the pubs and gyms I'd bounce back loans. So they're like, oh, come and do the gym.
Yeah.
We were completely isolated. And I was like, yeah, mint.
Yeah.
But
Brilliant.
what I really want to do is I want to paint my little boy. I've recently had a baby and I want to do, there's a picture of his face where I'm smushing his face and I want to do like huge somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do that. I don't know.
You should do it in, I say you could do it in the kid's room, but like, maybe as he gets a bit older, he probably won't want that.
He'll end up with a massive ego on him if he's got a portrait of himself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think he's a little prince, you know?
Yeah, but it is intriguing. Like real artists, I guess, at some point or another, have expressed themselves fully, and I do. I think you should. I think you should. For what it's worth, I think you should definitely explore that avenue.
Yeah,
because there could be something in there that's pretty special.
Yeah, it got to be more about like what will actually sell, because like I do a lot of Comic Cons and all sorts of stuff and like do things that way, but like I never really have any stock. I never really sit at home and go, oh, this will sell, I'll do a Joker, or I'll draw this, I'll draw that, because there's no guarantee. I'd rather take a commission so I know exactly what people want. Because I think I'm that busy with everything. I don't really want to take a gamble.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I get that. Yeah, because of course that's difficult, isn't it? When it's your income, like when it's your business, like you don't want to do something too hideous because like people will be like, oh, like not using that guy, he's crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing. There's that part of it too.
Chopped up squirrels and that.
Yeah,
you know, like.
that's the thing. But people say, oh, I bet you've got loads of stuff on your house. I bet your house is covered in graffiti. I'm like, no, I buy all my mates' artwork.
Yeah.
I buy stuff off my mates because it helps them, and I love their work. So I'm like, well, why would I sit here and just draw all day?
Imagine the situation, right? Someone's like booked Dan to do the kids' room. They said, right, Dan, look, there's the key. Look, we're going to Mallorca for a week, right? You crack on, mate. Look, it doesn't matter. Look, I've seen all your work. It's brilliant. Just you do what you think. The door shuts. Dan stands there for a minute and just thinks, you know what? I've had enough of fucking drawing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he puts his heavy metal on, you know.
Yeah.
And Dan just goes, right. And just fucking, like as he comes in and there's a fucking turned inside out Badger's ass and shit like this, you know. Oh my God.
Yeah, I just paint myself up naked and slam myself against the wall. Just do full crazy, like, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably best not for business.
No, people have a lot of trust in me.
Yeah.
I recently finished a mural for Scarlett Moffat for a little boy's room.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to tell anybody what it is because we're going to do a reveal thing, but that was big. So, here's the key. Just we're going out for the day. We're going to be staying overnight. Just help yourself to anything in the fridge. And I'm like, this is like, you know, a celebrity's house. I'm like, oh, okay, I've got to be careful here. Like, I don't want to get paint on the floor, let alone go mental. You know.
What's some of like the most? Well, first things first. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment? Like as far as job, I remember you telling me a story. Something about was it Liverpool and Manchester? That seemed to be just on a grand scale.
Oh, so Liverpool. Yeah, I met a guy through a job I did in Darlington. I did a job for this guy's daughter, granddaughter, like painting Disney princesses or whatever. And this guy runs a building firm down in Liverpool, and they've pretty much taken all of like Aintree, like all the old factories in Aintree that are dropping to bits, turn them into office spaces. So he said, "Oh, could you come down here and paint the Beatles? They want like the Beatles portraits doing, and they want like John Lennon's Rolls Royce." So I was like, "Okay, no, they wanted the Beatles first." So I went and did the Beatles for them over a week, and he goes, "Oh, there's a blank wall there. Can you do John Lennon's Rolls Royce?" The big guy wants you to do that, and I'm like, "Right, okay, I'll see what I can do." So the last couple of days, I smashed this Rolls Royce out, this psychedelic Rolls Royce. They probably loved it, over the moon. He goes, "Oh, have you ever heard of Hartley's Jam before?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's Robinson's Jam, and then there's Hartley's. They're like kind of the big jam factories, the big jam companies in the UK."
Yeah. Hartley's Jam, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got the old jam factory, this old enormous Victorian jam factory in the middle of Aintree in Liverpool. And it's kind of the same situation as like Cadbury's. You know, when Cadbury's made Bourneville, that village around the factory.
Yeah.
So they built this village around this jam factory. So it's all like Strawberry Street and Plum Street and Sugar Avenue, that kind of thing. And because I saw Sugar Street and I thought it might have been Strawberry Fields, like a link to the Beatles.
You're right. Yeah.
Maybe was, but yeah, it turns out they built these streets, this whole neighbourhood around this jam factory, and they've got this huge jam factory. And they're saying, "Oh, well, you turn it into office spaces, but we want to keep the original chimney stack. We want to keep all the original like coving and all the old artwork. And we want you to paint murals in there that represent the old jam jars, the old jam artwork." And, you know, was it Jonathan? I think it was Jonathan Hartley, is the name of the guy, or William Hartley.
Right.
And he says, "I want a big mural of him." And they showed me the inside of it, and there's maybe a quarter of a mile long tunnel running through this jam factory where they used to cart all the gear backwards and forwards. So we want to put a road in here and have people drive through it.
What?
Yeah. And he goes, "Do you reckon you could paint it, like both sides of this tunnel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably. I'd need like an army of artists, and I'd need to get organised and do all this. But that's potentially on the cards."
Wow.
So like this is kind of what happens now, where like I get people who see the work and think, "Oh, this guy could do it," and then they just come at me with daft ideas, and I'm like, "Okay, maybe."
This tunnel, it's like an underground tunnel.
Yeah, it's like it runs all the way through the factory from one side to the other. So one side of the street to the other, thinking, well, we can drive cars to this if we tarmac it. It's ambitious. It's a very, very ambitious project.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, well, I'm down for that. Like I'm down for passion and getting people involved. You know.
I mean, how long did you say this tunnel was?
Like maybe a quarter of a mile. It's long. Both sides. It's huge.
I think you and I touched on this before when you first mentioned this to me, which is, I know you said, yes, I'd need an army of artists, but like, at what point does it stop being Dan Wall's work then?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
Yeah, the minute I become some kind of like, I don't know, events manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you know, next business ideas, you know, like the apprenticeship, the Dan Walls apprenticeship.
Oh no,
you know,
that's rough. I don't want to be doing that.
you know, you could teach them your ways of doing things. You know, people could get qualified.
Yeah, but then they open up next door and then they're going to the competitor. It's like, you know,
Yeah, this is true.
I give them all not me secrets, you know what I mean, but like giving the game away. I don't know. It's one of these things like, where does it stop? Like, where it becomes something that you love, when does it actually become a job?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You mentioned there competitors. What's you've got competitors, and
I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say like rivals or competitors because there's, like I said, there's room for everybody. There's kids' bedrooms, like, you know, for days. There's blank walls everywhere. There's whole streets and cities with no nice artwork in it. It's just all dropping to bits, especially in the northeast. You know.
Yeah. So there is there such a thing? I've heard the phrase of like turf wars. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's more of like a graffiti thing. So
you're not involved in that?
Not particularly. I mean, I run my legal street art walls in Bishop Auckland. It's on Railway Street. You know, did you see the big Stan Laurel that we painted?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we pretty much gave that to the town. We gave it to Bishop Auckland because my friend Dave, who has the Smokehouse, the barbecue restaurant, he was saying, oh, well, I want to start like a community thing off. I want to call it like the Art Bunker or whatever. So I did the big Art Bunker logo on the side of the wall. And I was saying, well, what's happening with the rest? He goes, oh, do what you like with it. And I'm thinking, oh, you've just given me meters and meters of wall to do what I like with. So then I started like painting whatever I wanted, expressing myself and going down that route. And then more and more people rocked up and I started seeing like tags and big name pieces and wild style stuff and characters and portraits. And I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. And from then that started this incentive of me going around with leaflets, asking people in the streets, oh, do you mind giving up your back walls in the alleyway for our, you know, street art incentive? And that's what happened. So we ended up with like the tile shop in Bishop Auckland. It's right next to the Hippodrome. It's Bishop's oldest building. We haven't got the Hippodrome. We want to try and preserve that and keep it. You know, it's a historic piece.
Yeah.
But everything else around there, like old nightclubs, the back of the music shop, like old garages, they've pretty much just given us the space to use.
Really?
So that's really good fun. Yeah.
So you're literally just painting all of the alleys, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's great. It's spilled over to like projects in Middlesbrough as well. We've got one of them coming up end of the month. But yeah, the legal graffiti walls are great fun.
Is it like, because I don't really know where we all stand on graffiti. It's illegal, is it, to graffiti?
Yeah, to go and vandalise somebody's property. Yeah, so like
Right.
if you rock up and write your name on someone's property like without their permission, then yeah, it's you get locked up for that. You get in trouble.
Right. But what you're doing there, you're getting the permission of the owners of the buildings.
Yeah, written
basically.
permission of the landlords or the renters or whatever. Anyone who can say, oh yeah, I gave him permission to do it.
But I suppose it would, and as well, you're not painting anything offensive per se. I think the rules would probably change if you were drawing, because that is still a public space.
Of course, yeah.
And if you're drawing something offensive on there, or what would be classified as offensive in our Western world,
That's it.
then yeah. Okay, that's when it would become
Yeah,
no longer
there is a set of rules. We do have rules on the Facebook page. It's called Bish Vegas Legal Graph.
Right.
So you go on there. We've recently updated the rules because some people have started taking the piss. You know what I mean?
What are some of the rules, for example?
One of them is, well, keep it tasteful. You know what I mean? Don't be writing swear words or whatever or drawing knobs on anything. You know what I mean? Like, don't hog the space. Some guys turn up and they just go over other people's stuff and just cover it in their tag over and over again. This kind of, it's a very much a graffiti kind of attitude, this domination thing, where you turn up and you take everything and just write your tags. There's crews as well. There's different crews from different places, and I'm very aware that certain ones don't get on with each other.
Right.
So say if a crew in Newcastle,
These are graffiti crews.
these are graffiti crews, yeah, and a lot of the guys I do paint with, who are mates of mine, they're from different crews and different backgrounds. So I try and tell them, look, don't bring any beef. You know what I mean? If you're going to write your crew thing, how do I know that someone's not going to rock up and go over it, and you go over one of theirs, and then we end up with problems?
Right.
You know?
I had no idea this was an actual thing.
Neither did I until I started this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Try and keep it apolitical. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff at the minute with like Gaza, the whole Palestine thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I agree with. I just don't want anything on the walls to say that we're one way or the other.
Right.
Because that makes us look like we're, you know what I mean, we're complicit in something.
Yeah, for you, I guess you've got to remain neutral.
That's exactly it.
Even if you've got your own opinions, which everybody does.
Of course.
But they can be upstairs, not in.
That's it.
Not
yeah,
voiced.
not in a public space. It's effectively an ever-changing outdoor art gallery.
Right.
So I want to try and keep it a good mix of like graffiti and street art. So there's like a really good mix for what people will like and what people won't. And so there's, there's a conversation to be had.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is what I wanted to have open dialogue about the artists and what we do and why we do this.
So currently, like the past few months, currently the next few months, this is, I imagine this is taking up the vast majority of your time then.
No, I've left it for a while because obviously I've had a baby and I've moved house. I don't live in Bishop anymore. I've moved to Aycliffe with my wife and we've got a little boy. So it's kind of like a garden that I've left unattended.
Right.
So I've turned up and it's just mental. It's just gone wild. And there's certain spots that people can't hit that have been hit and it looks terrible. So I kind of tell people, don't bother doing this or I'll buff it out. I'll get the council to buff it out. But I haven't been very strict with the rules. I didn't want to be the fun police, but then obviously I've left it for ages. So it's what can you do? But
when you say it's been hit, what do you mean? People have came and painted what they want.
Yeah. Well, they've gone over like legal wall spots. So say if someone's done like a really decent portrait, some tagger will go over that portrait and just write their name over it just to target that, because that's more of a graffiti thing. Like keep street art out of it. We're a graffiti town or whatever.
So trying to put myself in the mind of the graffiti artist that has tagged or drawn their name over this piece of art.
Yeah.
They're seeing it, I'm assuming that they see it as this is our spot.
Yeah.
You aren't allowed to paint stuff in our spot.
That's exactly
Only
it.
we paint stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a mentality with that, and certain members of who are mates of mine, who are members who normally rock up and do stuff, have started to exhibit that a bit, and I've had to not so much crack the whip, but pack it in.
Right.
We don't do it this way.
Right.
Like a young lad will rock up and do something that isn't brilliant, but he's getting his name out there. He wants to try it. He wants to express himself as an artist. And then one of the other guys will just beast over it.
Yeah, you feel like saying lads, we're trying to earn money for producing street art for people. All this shit's just going to make it so nobody earns any money.
That's it. And there's people in the town who don't like it anyway. Didn't like it from the start. So if it looks like a shithole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they're going to think, well, look what it's done. Look what it's brought. It's brought all this violence. It's brought all this, whatever.
Yeah.
Antisocial crap. But we do events there. We have there's one coming up called Graph Jam 3, and that's happening at first weekend of September.
What is it? What is Graph Jam?
So we try and do an annual thing every year in September where all the artists get together and we go over everything. We go over all the artwork and we start something new. And we mix it up and we work together. The smokehouse is open to provide barbecue food and beer, and there's MCs and DJs that play there. And it's pretty much like an open community space where people can come and mingle and hang out and watch the artists work.
Right. What would you say then if I was to ask you now, of all of the work how long have you been doing it for now? From the first bedroom to today, how long was that?
12, 13 years,
12, 13
maybe,
years.
something like that.
In all that time, doesn't have to be the best art, No, actually, two questions.
Go on then.
What was your greatest piece that you're proud of, and which one meant the most to you?
It changed. The proud one changes because I do a lot of different work and I look back on things and that was good fun. I love doing that. And the Stan Laurel was really good. I love doing that. It was me and my friend Michael and my friend Raven. We were up a cherry picker for 3 days, beasting that out, and that was something really good to do for the town. It's dropping to bits now. We need a new cherry picker because I need to get up there and neaten it up a little bit because it's starting to look a bit crappy. But that was really good fun. It's good to work with different artists as well because Raven's a really good portrait artist.
Right.
So I learned a lot from Raven, and Michael was just mint. He rocked up and did all of it as well. So that was great. That was a big crowning achievement. But we've done other stuff since, which is still really good. Like my own personal projects, I'm really proud of too. But yeah, the one that means the most, I think, was I got contacted by a company called Fat Lads on Bikes.
Love that name.
Yeah, Fat Lads on Bikes.
Can I ask? Are they fat lads that ride bikes?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Great.
They raise money for charity, go on sponsored bike rides and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
So what happened was this mum has 2 children, and I think the little girl is disabled, and wanted a wet room building. So they hired these guys in to build this wet room for this little lass and build her a bedroom and look after the house. They got fleeced. These guys took the money and off they went. These cowboys.
Were the decorators?
They were builders. They were supposed
sorry.
to build this wet room and, and extend the house and do all this. So they give them all this money for a deposit, and off they went. So then they rang the fat lads to see if they could do something. So they raised the money, and a lot of the fat lads are builders themselves and decorators and all sorts. So they did that. They built the little girl the wet room, and the little lad was sleeping on the kitchen floor because his bedroom was just wrecked. So when they rebuilt his bedroom, they asked me, "Oh, Dan, can you paint him a Spider-Man?" because he's had it really hard. He's really struggled. This family need you, and I was like, yeah, no bother. So I rocked up and did the Spider-Man for him, and he loved it. He thought it was really good, and he was proper chuffed. This little lad. And then on the way home, it was Christmas one year. I forget what year it was. I got given the Northern Echo. On the front page of the Northern Echo was this little lad, proper chuffed, and it's around Christmas time. And then Riding Home for Christmas comes up on the radio, and I start welling up.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing it now. I'm proper soft. And I was like, I thought I'd done something really quite sweet for this little lad, and obviously it all happened together. And I thought that was quite a poignant moment, that I'd done something good.
Yeah, just amazing. Just imagine, like, it is amazing. Like, imagine, number one, it's a blessing that you've sort of your path has took you to a place where you're able to do that for somebody, and then the fact that you did it is, yeah, man, just really, really nice, man. You know, and I bet, yeah, I can imagine every time you think about it, you're thinking, I'm probably doing something good here.
Yeah, I like to think that, you know, but I suppose everyone thinks that they're doing good somehow. I mean, there's probably a lot of ego behind it as well, but
we said it before, there's such thing as an unselfish act, you know.
Yeah,
of course, true. You know, you do something good for someone, you feel good about it, so you're getting something from it. You know, it is what it is, but that's awesome. I'm moved from that. I like it.
Yeah, it was just nice. Sometimes it's just nice to just do stuff for people, you know.
What do you think? Like, where does this go? Where does Illumination More Like go? Like, where can it go? Surely you must sit and ponder the future of this.
I do now, like I said, like, because now I've got my house and everything, I've got my little boy and everything. I do wonder, like, you know, do I start taking on apprentices? Do I go down that route? Do I start doing events and hiring artists out and
scale it?
Yeah, but become some kind of, like, I don't know, some kind of ambassador for the arts, maybe, you know, and start some kind of like service, you know what I mean? Someone rings up and I've got the right guy on the end of the phone who can do this job, or a guy who can do that job. But then, is that not just making too much hassle for myself if I run an agency or something?
I don't know, you know. Do you know what, right? I don't, you know, listen, right? When anybody started anything, it was probably a stupid idea until it wasn't.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, what happens if you literally, like, let's dare a dream. What happens if you open an academy? Like, because you've got the teacher in your blood. Yeah. Right? You've had a little bit of experience at Durham, Bishop College. Like, the whole Dan Walls Academy.
The Dan Walls Centre for kids who can't draw good.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like I say, we are in a new world now. We are in a world where, you know, there are new industries, there are new jobs. Like, if somebody tried to explain a TikToker 15, 20 years ago, we'd just say, what are you talking about?
Oh, you think they were mad, yeah.
So, like, I bet you, mate, and like you say, I mean, you know, autism and ADHD, I don't know whether it's more prevalent now or it's just identified more now. I don't know the answer to that. But there's probably a lot of kids out there that, you know, that if we're slotted into the right groove, there might be some future geniuses.
It's true, but then I got out of teaching for a reason, you know.
You did, yeah.
And as much as I do enjoy it, I mean, I do workshops and stuff with kids anyway. Maybe it's the structure of teaching I didn't like. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's the structure of anything that I hate. Maybe I just like to do what I want when I want.
Yeah, maybe it's structure. But yeah, I bet in here wound you up, did it?
No, it wasn't bad, mate, honestly. I mean, I've had worse jobs.
Yeah, not many though.
Cleaning bogs isn't fun, you know. But do what you do.
No, look, mate, you were an absolute trooper. Like, you turned up here and you must have thought, what you lads doing? You know, just draw a Hulk. You know,
let me just draw a Hulk.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess the answer to your question is you don't know where it's going to go.
I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy getting people together and working with other artists and collaborating. I mean, the events coming up, like in Middlesbrough and in Bishop Auckland, are going to be proper fun. I love doing that, where we can get a group of us together and have a few drinks and paint. It's mint, because then you can look around afterwards and just see a whole alley transformed, which is beaut to do. But I don't know where the future lies. I like painting. I like doing what I do. I love getting up every day and painting murals, and I could be doing Minions one day, I could be doing a podcasting the next, or, you know. What did I do recently? I've just finished a cowgirl-themed bar in Hartlepool on the Headland.
Right.
And that was after I finished a locomotion mural in Darlington and then a Minecraft mural for a kid's room, and that was all in the same week.
Right.
You know?
What if like, what would you like, okay, tell me a job. Like, just imagine, like, give me your idea of what would absolutely make your world to get that job. What would that job be?
You know what I would have loved to have done?
What's that?
made puppets for Jim Henson.
Huh.
I would have liked to have worked on Sesame Street or something and just made and operated puppets of the Dark Crystal or something.
You could have asked me to have a million guesses what you were going to say, and I would never have said that.
No, I love it. There's all sorts of stuff that I'm into. This is what led me to the art thing. You know, I said at the start about keeping it open and varied because I like loads of different stuff. I like to dabble and jump in between things, maybe. Maybe I'm too much of a flake to like make a solid decision. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you would have liked to have made his puppets?
Yeah, just worked on the Dark Crystal or something, or a Labyrinth, and just, you know what I mean, like made a goblin and just used the goblin in the so oh yeah, I worked on Labyrinth.
I tell you what,
you know what I mean?
That Crystal and the Labyrinth, right? I don't know. I was one of them kids. How old are you, Dan?
41.
Yeah, I'm 40. So we're of the same era. You don't know what the Dark Crystal and the Labyrinth is, do you?
I've seen the Labyrinth.
You have?
Yeah.
You've seen the Dark Crystal?
No.
It's twice as fucked up.
Oh,
Right.
Dark Crystal's crazy. The series is good as
The
well.
Labyrinth as a kid, when that scared me growing up.
Yeah, and there was another one that not a lot of people have seen. There was a version of Wizard of Oz that seemed to be of a similar
Yes.
ilk.
Return to Oz, was it?
Yeah, like an odd one with people like monkeys on skates and shit.
Yeah, the Wheelers.
That's
I'm
it.
sure it's
Ooh,
yeah.
like you say it's like haunting me.
And the Pumpkinhead guy, Pumpkin Jack or whatever
That's
it was called.
him, yeah.
But that was even before Jack Skellington. Yeah.
Well, yeah, is that what it was?
It was before him. Yeah, I think Tim Burton took a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about parenthood because I've never been a parent, but like, I'm going to put my 2 pence worth in. Like, parents, stop showing your kids them things because they are disturbing. Like, was that made for kids? The Dark Crystal or whatever, the Black Crystal?
It was the 80s, man. It was a weird time. I think Jim Henson was so sick of Sesame Street, he wanted to just do something himself. But people thought, oh, it's the guy who did Sesame Street. You know what I mean? We'll bring the kids to see it. And it's like, nah, just...
You've just taught me something. I didn't know Jim Henson made that.
Oh, yeah, Jim Henson did everything, man.
Right.
Anything puppets-wise in the 80s, it was him. It's his workshop.
Huh. So we can go from... I'm thinking of the same guy. We're talking about Kermit, right?
Yeah, the Kermit guy. You're the voice
And Miss
of Kermit.
Piggy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Right.
That's it.
So we can go from Gonzo, Miss Piggy, etc.,
Yeah.
to the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, to the Skeksis, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, honestly. Because he was, once again, a guy very dark, wanted to go down a different route and do something weird and a bit off it, but of course he's in this pigeonhole of kids entertainer.
Kids entertainer.
Once again, see?
Yeah.
The similarities. I've just put that together there.
I bet he was, a version of Goya. I bet he was literally sat there going, if I hear one more, hey, Kermit,
That's
if
what
I
it is.
hear
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one more time, you're going to pop.
That's what it is. Yeah, he wanted to make Sesame Street a bit more adult as well, and he tried that and it didn't work because it was just too out there and a bit weird.
There was a few. I always thought, like, as a kid, there was always like a little bit of something between Miss Piggy and Kermit that was. I'm not saying it was, rude or nothing, but there was always something a little bit more.
No, it was well established that they were together and then they split up.
Yeah.
There was a thing recently that they broke up and she was with some other guy or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a whole dating thing with Miss Piggy. Did you ever see the Weezer video, the band Weezer?
No.
So there's this band Weezer that are more like kind of like post-punk shoegaze sort of thing.
Yeah.
You'll know a Weezer song. You know the Buddy Holly song.
I know Buddy Holly songs.
Yeah, the Buddy Holly song is Weezer.
Right. Okay.
So she had a thing with the drummer in the video, and that became a thing online that like they were dating or whatever. And she's had like quite a few like weird boyfriends.
Right.
Can you do that, Salpo? Can you bring up Miss Piggy's dating history?
Is that a thing?
Honestly, it's really interesting.
Let's have a look at Miss Piggy's dating history. So she's had a string of lovers.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah,
Right.
boyfriends, toy boys, or whatever. Just I think it's to make Kermit jealous, like, but
Right. I didn't know that. What are you saying, Southpaw?
I'm not too sure.
I swear it's real.
It's
I'm
real.
not making it up.
Yeah, I mean, I knew. I've always heard like the rumours that it was a bit more to Jim Henson than meets the eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I didn't know that. You've taught me something new there.
Fascinating bloke, mate. Jim Henson's fascinating.
I bet he is. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, I was, when we just sat and pondered what the future could bring. I guess I was pretty tracked in like painting. Well, not necessarily.
I don't know. There's a lot of interchangeable skills with what I do, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You could turn around and be a tattoo artist all over again.
Well, that's it. I mean, I don't hate it. You know what I mean?
No.
I lost my passion for it because I think I was in with some weird people, and I think with tattooing, it got really popular after like the Miami Ink thing.
Yeah.
I was into it like kind of just after that.
Right.
So everyone was a tattooist. Everyone in the dog was a tattooist or an apprentice or this or that, and it became like kind of full of poses. Jodie Marsh was a tattooist. You know what I mean?
I remember Jodie Marsh.
You know what I mean? It became like really satirized with like little Doyles, and it was all kind of gangster adjacent. You know what I mean? Everyone was selling coke on the side or whatever, or they were a pimp or something. And it's what happened to just painting? Whatever happened to the love of your craft?
Yeah, of just literally putting art on people.
That's exactly it.
Literally,
the reward is there, but money, I suppose.
Yeah. Interesting, yeah. But you do have a trippy job, Dan.
I do.
You have a really trippy job, and it's class to see that you've like managed to make something you love into your business.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's really special. And I guess. I mean, of course, you appreciate it, but I bet a lot of people aren't in that position. A lot of people.
Definitely not. No,
don't do what they love.
It's
for a living.
sad because there's so many people who are so talented, who are absolute geniuses, if they're writers or actors or singers or artists, and they're working in like Tesco's or something. I mean, I know some brilliant guys who just can't get a break. They just live in a shithole part of the northeast where they can't get anything.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where you just don't want to. It's like, what's the point? That you get this. You get this idea about yourself, that the world just beats you down and makes you think you ain't worth nothing, and
But hats off to you, Dan. Nothing was sort of handed to you. Like, I bet you there are, tens, if not hundreds, of good artists in the northeast.
Oh yeah.
But 99% of them can't be asked.
That's all. There's some spectacular artists out there
to do what you did.
but they sit at home and wait for the phone to ring. You know what I mean? They don't actually get up their ass and do something.
Yeah,
and
the things you told me, like from going up and down the street with flyers and turning up places and having the balls to do it, and yeah, that's what makes a difference. That's that 1% of people. Only 1% of people will have done that.
Oh yeah. Sorry. A lot of it is there's a lot more to running a business than just painting pictures. People see the pictures, oh, they're great. I love his artwork, but it's like there's a whole method of getting it out there. There's a whole method of like how you start it and get people to know who you are, and the networking side of it, and speaking to people, and the social media and all that crap. Yeah. I mean, I'm not on TikTok. People say, "Oh, get on TikTok," and I'm like, "Well, I'll be spending my life editing videos."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For like 5 people to see it, I'd much rather just paint.
Yeah. Well, whatever you are doing, I think's working. A lot of people know who you are now, and I'd say the vast majority of them haven't met you, but they've seen it on social, or they've been shared something on social, or they've seen your work.
Yeah.
Where I think I first ever heard about you, I think was it. I don't know if it was the old business or it was that place down the Deans in Darlington. You drew something that was wasn't it like the first African footballer in England or something?
Yeah, the Arthur Wharton Foundation.
That's it.
Yeah, my friend Sean runs that,
Right.
Sean Campbell. He started a charity for the world's first black professional footballer, who was Arthur Wharton.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot's kind of known about him.
No.
And should be, because he's a fascinating guy. He broke world records and everything. He played rugby, he played cricket, he was a runner. And he
an athlete.
Oh yeah, incredible athlete, like Black Superman. I think he came to Darlington. I think he wanted to be like a pastor or a vicar or something like that. He wanted to like be in the church, but he was just a phenomenal athlete. And from then he just kind of took him off to places. But obviously with him being like a black guy, and in that time period he didn't really get a whole lot out of it. But he was kind of like an unsung hero, sort of forgotten about. So Sean started this charity, and he asked me, "Oh well, can you paint something on the side of the Arthur Wharton Foundation?" Because he does a lot with sport and racism, and anti-racism, should I say?
Yeah.
And he generally any kind of sporting event that happens, he asks me, "Oh, can you rock up and do something for that?"
Yeah.
So we did something for the England women's football team when they won. So I did the Lionesses one.
Well, on Sunday.
No, before then.
Like say that was quick.
Last year when they won, it was class.
Yeah.
The One Love armband thing that was happening in Qatar. So we did something for that. Recently finished one of the Locomotion 1, which is with Hope Town in Darlington. So we've done a massive mural there. We're going to be doing the unveiling of that at some point soon, I hope.
Right.
I do a lot of work with Sean. I got quite a lot of football related work out of him, which is really good.
Yeah, I bet you've built up quite a network now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Various people. Yeah. So now, where does your, if you don't mind me asking, or you can tell me this is none of your business, but so does literally all of your work now come from, people contacting you now?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if there's something that I really want to do, then I'll approach somebody and be like, "Oh, I really want to put this here." One of the ones I really wanted to do was a portrait of Bob Mortimer.
Love Bob
I
Marley.
love Bobby's mint. Honestly, he's like I grew up with Reeves and Mortimer.
Same
So funny. But I was hoping to get something out of the Borough Football Club, and I've recently kind of got something with Middlesbrough.
Right.
The football club, but not at the football club. It's the old. I think it's Ayrsham is the old park.
Right. Okay.
So there's a big wall there they want me to do with Middlesbrough related stuff. But I'm saying only if I can put a Bob Mortimer on there somewhere. So I've kind of got what I want out of them, really.
Yeah.
So I'll see how that progresses, but that's going to be really good fun.
Gosh, what an interesting story. Onward and upward, Dan.
Thanks, man. It's a whirlwind. It's difficult, but it's really good fun at the same time. I wouldn't change it.
No, mate. What you're doing is amazing. Like, I've heard it all. Like, you sort of are making a difference, and I'll certainly be watching from afar as to what's next. Dan, if anybody listening, which I imagine everybody does want something done by you, but if those, how do those people get in touch with you?
So I'm Dan Walls. I go by Illumination Wall Art. You can find me all over social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. You can find me at info@illuminationwallart.co.uk if you want to email me.
All them things. Southport, how long have you been running for?
We're coming up to 115.
And that is exactly where we need it, Dan.
Perfect. That'll do for me.
Dan, mate, wow, thank you for everything. Thank you for helping us with this place.
Thank you for having me, guys. I've enjoyed doing it. It's fun being here, you know?
Yeah, well, part of people like us is we almost demand that people come back. So what we like to do is we do the first one where we do the get to know you.
Yeah.
And if you would do us the honour of coming back,
absolutely, yeah,
we'll sit here and put the world to rights next.
That sounds good to me.
That's the next bit.
I'm game is out for that.
Yeah, and that's when we can get a little bit more, not PG. And just say what the fuck's going on. Do you know what I mean? Just what the hell is going on in this world.
I can do that. That sounds fun, man.
Mr. Dan Walls, thank you very much for
Thanks for having
talking
me, guys.
to people like us. That is the end of it. We will see you next time.
I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic. Cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. I need to say something.